All right. Where are we going next for the Misadventures? Tell me.
Los Angeles, California.
All right. Like Mary Poppins said, if we must, we must.
Oh my.
Dude.
That's just awesome!
Hi everyone, this is Tosin. Welcome to another chapter of Misadventures with TIA. This particular time, we're going to talk about Los Angeles, California, USA. I struggle with LA. I don't know about the general populace. Popular sentiment seems to be you either love Los Angeles or you hate Los Angeles. I wouldn't say I hate Los Angeles, but I've never had too many positive experiences when it comes to dealing with the city of angels. So whether it be some of my visits, one of the events I'm about to describe in this chapter, or some of the other things I've had to deal with when it comes to Hollywood producers who approach me for using some of my creative work for their productions. Each one has crashed and burned miserably over the years, so I have not had too many positive experiences with Los Angeles. There is an episode of a series called Criminal Minds from a couple of years ago, whether it might be from 2012 or 2013, that features about 12 of my images, my cityscapes of Seattle, because apparently there was an episode that took place in Seattle with the characters there, and the producers or whoever was behind that show really swindled me for my images of Seattle, and it was my fault. I own that experience, and I will never ever let it happen again. So it was a lesson learned, but again, a lesson learned with Los Angeles. But anyway, let's get into the story. That was just a preface. I struggle with LA. I typically love all the cities that I visit all around the world, in the US and Canada, in Europe, East Asia, Australia. But for whatever reason, anytime I go to Los Angeles, I experience some ridiculous form of hardship, and some of the people who I've met. Okay, let me edit myself. Don't get me wrong. I have a small network of really, really good friends who are from Los Angeles, and I can't hold it against them if they're born and raised there, and the life that they know, the reality that they know is Los Angeles. But for someone who has read about LA, has seen movies about LA, and has eventually visited several times, I'm just I don't know. I'm a diplomat by academic training and professional background, but I'm trying very hard not to be disrespectful, because it's America's second largest city by population. There are a lot of people from there, and I've met transplants from LA who, I don't know, they live there for a couple of months and then they come back, and they, at least in my own experience, in my own observations when I interact with them, there's this degree of superiority or that they have, that they think that they're better or they're better connected, what have you, just because they've lived in Los Angeles for a couple of months or for a year or two. And I don't know. LA, it's an acquired taste, and it's still a little bit bitter for my palate. So I'll leave it at that. Let's get to the story. I think it happened somewhere on Hope Street, between West 2nd and West 3rd Streets, possibly a little after 8 p.m. It was the 4th day of November in 2011, a Friday night. I was enjoying the urban grid of the streets of LA on what turned out to be a very clear night. It had been raining when I arrived from Seattle. Perhaps it followed me. It is Seattle. But the rain seemed to purge the city of its pollution and clear the night sky, if only for a few hours. On a sidewalk along Hope Street, I was preparing to capture a long exposure of the cluster of skyscrapers with the flowing traffic of a few cars. The tripod was set and I was bubbling with anticipation of getting an exciting shot. Occasionally, a pedestrian would walk by, almost always behind me. It seems most people are polite enough to not walk in front of the photographer when she or he is trying to capture an image at night. It seems to be a universal code in most populated areas, but I could be wrong. In fact, the example I'm about to share in this story undermines everything I've just said, so bear with me. I've read in many photography books that it's always good practice to keep both eyes open when looking through the viewfinder. This is because an interesting scene can catch the eye that's not looking through the viewfinder and could help you predict and prepare for what's about to come into your frame. This is very helpful for long exposures of traffic and for action shots, particularly in contact sports. Give it a try. Another excellent reason to keep both eyes open when focusing on your subject matter is for safety. With both eyes open, one can see people who are approaching, particularly those who may not necessarily care for what you're trying to do, and therefore you can prepare yourself accordingly. I neglected to apply the keep both eyes open strategy when I was accosted by not even a pedestrian but a cyclist. And I'm a cyclist, so it's like a double offense for me personally, because I'm a cyclist and I respect the rules of the trails and the roads and all that. So anyway, yes, I was accosted by a cyclist. Here's what happened. Well, I'll even say cyclist is even too respectful a word for the idiotic hoodlum who basically appeared out of the darkness like a thug on a bike, which may or may not have even been his bike when I recall what's happening. As I looked through the viewfinder with my right eye, my left eye was closed tight. That was my first mistake. My second error was letting my excitement of being in Los Angeles and obtaining some wonderful images overwhelm my typically exacerbated sense of awareness. Again, we're talking about safety. I just wanted to enjoy the series of long exposures I was hoping to obtain on Hope Street, one of which I did obtain. I might share that in this video. I was about to push the shutter button when two very strange things happened at once. The first thing that happened was that my tripod seemed to have been instantly swiped from underneath my camera. Keep in mind, the camera is attached to the tripod, which is the custom for executing a long exposure image. Before I could even concentrate on this bewildering circumstance, the second event occurred which shocked me and simultaneously saved my camera. I sometimes take long exposures with the camera strap around my neck. I think it gives me some odd sense of security for the camera, even though it's already firmly attached to the tripod. On this occasion, in Los Angeles, the strap was around my neck and it felt like it had come alive and was actually trying to strangle me. It was frightening. So, the pain was extremely sharp. The strap tightened around my neck so quickly from the left that my head jerked to the left as the strap tugged me to the right. It was as if someone had grabbed the camera at 10 miles per hour with me attached to it. Turns out my assumption was fairly accurate. Even though my body had been dragged only a few steps, I managed to regain my stance almost immediately. These two simultaneous events transpired within a span of 10 seconds. It was very, very quick, rapid. When my eyes surveyed my surroundings, looking around Hope Street, I saw that my camera, instead of being on my tripod, had fallen into my hands. My tripod, though, which was at its full extent 10 seconds before, was gone. It was not in sight. My tripod had disappeared. My neck, now afflicted by a sharp pang of whiplash, was still able to move, thank goodness. I looked to my right to see two hoodlums on bicycles riding down Hope Street. Both of them looked too large for the bikes they were riding. Focusing, I saw one of them riding down with my tripod in his right hand while cycling down the street. This jackass looked back at me for a moment, made eye contact. Seeing that he clearly failed to obtain the item he really wanted, the camera, he threw my tripod into the bushes before reaching the 3rd Street intersection. Jackass. He and his buddy proceeded to cycle off into the darkness of downtown LA, wherever they were going. A sense of unmitigated disgust for these two individuals flowed through my veins as I stared at them in a vicious stupor. Needless to say, for the next minute, I was stunned and perplexed by what had just happened. The next 2 minutes were spent in pure fury. Had I really traveled to Los Angeles just to be attacked less than 6 hours after arrival by two jackasses, both of whom were completely devoid of any sensible thought of what could have happened if one of them had successfully snatched the camera and dragged it down the hill with the strap around my neck? Seething, I resolved to spend the following 5 minutes recollecting my composure and donating some time to deeper thought, to some introspection of what had just happened. And also to decompress for the sake of my temper and just the fact that, I'm in Los Angeles. I am on vacation and I'm doing work for TIA. I should be enjoying the time that I'm there. So I took some time just to decompress. This way. My goodness. Anyway. So I reviewed some facts. 1. The hoodlum tried to steal my camera, taking advantage of my ignorance of his approach on his bike. However, he had failed. Second fact. The camera he tried to steal was still strapped around my neck. I held it in my hands. It wasn't damaged. It's a good thing. Fact 3. The idiotic lowlife had thrown my tripod into the bushes, which I proceeded to collect. The tripod was not damaged either. Great. Fact 4. Aside from the immediate whiplash, I was breathing and uninjured. Fantastic. And probably the most important thing. Fact number 5. I still had 3 more days to photograph Los Angeles, the city of angels. All my gear was in tow, so instead of being angry, I decided to get back to what I was doing, only a million times more vigilant for the rest of the trip. There was no point being mad about this and letting this spoil my experience of photographing Los Angeles. The punk on a bike didn't get away with any of my gear, and more importantly, my life was spared. This jackass could have broken my neck and dragged me with him down the street, thus injuring himself in the process as well. My gear was functional, I was functional. This jackass hadn't approached me toting a gun or a knife. He just wanted to cycle on down and just collect, all this gear and take it with him while riding a bike. Seriously, when I just think about how you would do that logically, it escapes me. I don't want to think about it because I couldn't be too upset because it was my own inattentiveness that precipitated the attack in the first case. It's true. This was on me, not being attentive enough in a city like Los Angeles, and it's dark. It's not very well lit where I am. It probably didn't help that I was by myself in the dark, or the poorly lit Hope Street in the City of Angels. Sometimes, and this is solely a personal observation, I feel the name Los Angeles carries the most unfortunate irony. But I didn't feel like coming down too hard on the entire city based on my personal experience of what took place within a period of a few minutes. Truth be told, the next 3 days in LA were actually very enjoyable. And I also thought too, just being there, doing what I love to do in life, I just didn't have the time to be that angry now that the event had already come and gone. The one thing that remains a mystery though, and also my lifesaver, was how the camera detached itself from the tripod when the hoodlum cycled by. The camera's tripod connector plate was fastened and locked to the tripod well in advance. I always set up all this stuff in advance of me taking photographs. In all other scenarios, I probably should have been severely injured and out thousands of dollars to replace my camera gear, but that didn't happen, fortunately. I think I'm also very fortunate that my frame and build prevented more serious injury. I'm a big fellow, so this guy trying to drag me, maybe if I had been half my weight, or maybe a little shorter, I don't know, he may have been more successful in what he was trying to do. Clearly, these lowlives did not discriminate with their targets. Another person may not have fared as well as myself. As a result, there were many things for which to be grateful for that did not happen. It was an eye-opening lesson for me. Always keep both eyes open when photographing. Be extremely aware of one's surroundings. Try to be within sight of other people. That is important. Try not to be by yourself. Have a friend, someone that you're doing a mutual photo shoot with, other people that you know, or at least just be where there are several people so that type of behavior cannot occur where someone's trying to attack you. These are just some pointers that I'm thinking about in retrospect. And if at all possible, avoid being the only one taking photos in compromising locations. Try to be as safe as humanly possible. Alas, in conclusion, I blame my own irresponsibility for what occurred on Hope Street, and I have never let such an episode repeat itself. I just hope that this story helps to shine some light for photographers who love to capture images in very dark, secluded areas. I know my experience is far from isolated, but it was a well-learned lesson in safety, which, like good health, can never be taken for granted. Thanks for sharing this adventure with me. I just wanted to share that, and I'll conclude there. So until the next time, take care.
That's a wrap. Bloody hell.